Would
We can come
you?
back this way, absolutely. We'll adjust. Sit down, we'll get the
I
arbiter in
need
there
to
and we'll,
get back to it.
absolutely.
Hello, thank you for your patience. We just got in right at 12 o'clock, and so we are running a bit behind. But
We're not getting behind. That is just what we're always on. We're gay on time.
we're getting on time. But we are.
Which one do you want?
I don't give a thing.
You just sit here then.
All right, I'll sit here. We are very gaily happy to see all of you. Thank you for joining us. You walked up right as we were walking in, so perfect timing.
And we're streaming.
We are streaming
Hello,
to
internet.
the tube of you. So if you're like, this was a wonderful experience and I did not take notes, you don't have to. We're recording. Hello. I am Madame Askew, and this is my erstwhile partner, my stalwart companion in fashion and nonsense, the Grand Arbiter.
And I'm just gonna loom.
You're gonna loom?
Yeah.
You're gonna loom? All right.
I'm gonna loom and gesticulate officially.
Oh, excellent. I love official gesticulation.
So welcome to Space, the Final Fashion House. You didn't know this, but we have a fun thought for you to think about while we're doing this panel. So we have a number of Post-it notes, and I want you to write down on each Post-it note a fashion character, a character from sci-fi or any piece of sort of sci-fi media, or what's the term? It's
Speculative fiction.
speculative fiction.
Oh.
Characters that you think of, we think of fashion, good, bad, in between, good costumes, bad costumes, whatever you think about. And I need to hand pens out, don't I?
I have a pen. So.
Okay. And here's one for you.
My pen doesn't
You
work.
can write as many. Okay, well, here's another one.
Thank you.
Give us the bad pen.
The bad pen will go to pen jail.
Pen jail. for
And you
1,000
on the
years.
internet, you can list your favorite characters. We will not be able to do anything with them right now, but we will happily keep tabs on them in the future. Okay, so just think about your favorite characters, your least favorite characters who you think is well dressed or not dressed, and write one character on each Post-it note. And then we'll collect them when we go into the interactive portion of our discussion.
And
Sound good?
you can submit more than one character,
You
but
can submit as many as you want, but just one per Post-it note.
all right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
We all on the same page? Can I get a verbal yes that
Yes.
we're excited to do this?
Yes!
All
Yes,
right.
great. Okay, so welcome to Space, the Final Fashion House, what we can learn about other worlds from their sartorial choices. Matt Askew and I are both big fashion freaks, and so we love to talk about fashion, and we love space.
It's true. We met originally at a fixed point in time, so we are also time travelers. But the thing about time travel is you get to go to the future sometimes. And the future, as we all know, takes place in space and only wearing metallic lame fabrics. I'm not
Sometimes.
well, yeah, sometimes.
There's many options, as it turns out.
You know what? That's fair, Grand Arbiter. Sometimes you go to a galaxy far, far away and they've never heard of LeMay.
And they're really obsessed with beige.
And drapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we wanted to get into the whole, underpinnings, if you will, of fashion in science fiction and space opera, looking forward, outwards, into the galaxy and beyond to think about what the fashion is telling us about the culture, the choices, the art, the metaphor. And also, what it can tell us about the present moment and ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Askew, I feel like you are well equipped to discuss our first
Ooh.
topic.
Ooh. Star Trek, gender neutrality, equity, and egalitarianism. Now, it's true. Star Trek has, for the entirety of its existence, posited that we're all created equal and that it's all about infinite diversity. And I love that for us and for Star Trek, but for some reason, they really associate that with color blocking. Who knew that Utopia was going to come in color-coded squares of fabric, but that's Star Trek for you. Also, everybody gets a miniskirt. The scat. I love it, but I don't want to bend over in it. It doesn't actually seem safe on a spacecraft, but I'm glad that everyone gets scat time. And you know, my favorite thing, it's my least favorite thing about space fashion, is they think you don't need pockets. Maybe in Utopia, since you don't need things and you don't need money,
no one has any wants, so no one needs a pocket to
no
hold
one needs
anything.
pockets. You just like go to a wall and you're like, computer, give me a meal that has like a nice little dollop of chocolate and maybe a sweet toast and a green salad, and it just appears.
I really like yours. You're really, the computer would definitely know exactly what you wanted from that description.
Yeah, because she's gonna walk up and it's gonna know who it is.
That's
And
true.
it's gonna know,
Thank you.
because you put your, like, you touched it and it's like, oh, Madame Askew, she wants this exquisite chocolate and this green salad with only these ingredients and this dressing.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Thank you very
So
much.
the color blocking is the utopian structure of these costumes. It's really clear that there's a lot of the characters are military, but it's sort of this like science military. So the framework is not out of battle; it's out of like honor and justice, and also just sort of like showing unity, not authority.
And really, if they could, they'd never shoot anybody because they really just want to go prime directive all over the galaxy and like study space.
They just want to
rocks.
look at a nebula.
You know what? Look, Captain Pike really longs to be around nebulae. Was it nebulae or nebuluses?
Nebulae.
I don't know.
Okay,
Nebulae.
well,
Well,
proceed forward. Yes.
Star Wars.
Oh.
Sometimes we've got pieces that talk about the world, and sometimes we have costumes that tell us more about the characters. So, as we said on the slide, sometimes a lavish costume is just that, and sometimes it's an entire cultural history and character arc. So we've got from princess to general. We see her evolve her fashion to reflect her new status. We see imperial senator to rebel operative, using the sort of trimmings of luxury as a way to obfuscate her inner desire for justice and freedom. And from queen to whatever she needs to be. Queen Amidala, of course, has the largest number of costumes in the Star Trek canon, including a fun jumpsuit, just in case she needs to like do battle like Laura Croft.
Yeah, and you know, she does the cute hairdo with the jumpsuit. Like, she's always got the perfect coiffure to go with her costume. She's like bringing a whole army of
Queen
makeup and
Amidala
hair.
was the reason that the fashion really stinks in the New Hope is that Queen Amidala died and took all fashion with her.
That's correct. 61 costumes, though, is remarkable.
It's a lot of costumes.
I do think, especially looking at the current sort of spate of Star Wars films, they absolutely use costume to develop the characters, to give us those insights. I'm like obsessed with Mon Mothma's journey in Andor and the way she goes from wearing all of this beige and these neutral tones and acting like she's very moderate and very unassuming and not going to be a problem, to like finally starting to wear a bit of color, and then she's like, oops, they're gonna kill me, let's go be a rebel.
Well, and then when she does become a rebel, it's like just a giant white dress.
She's like, who needs?
Just so we're clear, I'm still wearing the ball gown up in the rebel hideout.
Look, if you're gonna be a rebel, be fabulous.
Okay, so when real fashion shapes fantastical, what we found fascinating when we were doing our research for this is the way that the three interpretations of Dune really reflect the film era from when it was created. So from the early 2000s to the most recent films, the one in the 80s?
So
70s.
83.
83.
there's the one in the 80s, the David Lynch, and then there's the one I've never seen that happened in like the 90s.
Yes.
And then there's the more recent one with which is
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chamoulet.
Him. Chamalot.
Chamelet.
I don't see the hype,
Kevin
but
Bear?
like I understand.
He's got soulful eyes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. I just feel like I feel like it's the same evolutionary principle as Chihuahuas.
Oh. You know, most guys just want to feed him. He looks
Yeah, no.
hungry all the
He's
time.
got the same evolutionary strength as Chihuahuas.
Does he shake a lot?
He's very thin.
That's true.
Um,
Poor lamb. And he's all out there having to be like some sort of, you know, new prophetic creature going out and taking on the spice trade in the empire.
That's true, and we can see that in the costumes, the way the costumes evolve. So the character has two major looks. We've got our Fremen look and we've got our Imperial look. And the Imperial look in the modern era really more reflects our current understanding of like power as sort of subtlety and lack of like grandiose costumery. So like this is definitely like a military outfit, but it's not one that's like
Not flashy.
it's not flashy. It's not designed to be flashy. It's sending a message, but that message is subtle.
Subtle.
But these other costumes,
well, the middle one is very much the 80s.
Yes.
How about a
and
power suit?
also the power suit with of course a small adorant dog.
Look, they didn't have Timothy
That's a space pug.
Bear, so
Shaman
they had a space pug, and they didn't need a space pug because they ended up with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then we've got this more traditional sort of military look that's a little an in-between of the two. So we've got several different outfits we've got one that's like, they've heavily invested in the more future concept for the still suit, or we've got, with the one from the early 90s, we've got one that's more aligned with sort of like the sort of desert nature. It's much more desert centered from the design, from those early designs.
Although I think that the modern take, while the still suit is so organic looking, it's really intricate with all of that detail and the layers of texture. It's beautiful. But the rest of the accoutrement is so based in North African, Near Eastern fashion. I was really obsessed with all of the headdresses of the women in particular and their use of facial tattoos. It was a wonderful callback to that North African fashion. Okay, all right.
Next slide. Okay, this is for you.
It is for me. Capital as costume. And you know, mostly it's for me because I'm obsessed with Murderbot, all right? It's sort of like halfsies, half you, half me. So one of the beautiful things about science fiction, it can be a story of many things, right? It can be a parody, a satire, a way of holding up a mirror to our common times. And these two films we're looking at, or rather series, Murderbot, and then the film, Jupiter Ascending, most ridiculous and underrated film, frankly. They are both looking at wealth and power and the economic gap between people who are working to survive and being oppressed by that wealth and power, and the people who are like, oh me, I buy and sell planets, it's fine. Also, have you seen my chalet? And so they also look at what wealth appears to be in different ways. Murderbot, very much rooted in this present moment. The corporate executives look like CEOs from Silicon Valley.
This one particularly. This guy, he's got a hoodie, he's got a baseball cap, he looks like he's the most business casual CEO. This could come out of, what's it called?
The Facebook movie?
The Facebook movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, whatever that, I forget.
It's the social network.
Social network.
Yeah.
Right, and I love how they're very neutral colors, and they look like we couldn't care less. And you know that hoodie probably cost $10,000 or so. Credits rather. Some nonsense like that. So it's ugly, it's beige, it has nothing beautiful or no personality about it. It still cost the moon. Whereas we get to Jupiter Ascending, which is a film from the early 2000s, right?
It's like the early aughts. It's like 2012, I think it's the time slot for that particular film.
Yeah, so it's a totally different era, and our relationship to wealth is different. There's a lot of excess to Jupiter Ascending, and they're like, oh, the ultra wealthy. They just like yachts and dinner parties and selling planets.
And I think that also part of it is that we've talked about this a little bit, that their wealth is their personal power. So these are individual, like these people are subsumed by the corporate identity. So the corporate identity represents them. They are beige to reflect nothing, to have no opinion, because the business can have no opinion, because all capitalistic businesses are formed around an apolitical framework where the only thing is important is money, and that, for some reason, is framed as a non-political stance. Where House of Praxis is not in any way anti-political, but is only political, because all of their choices are about how they can position themselves politically for power, to demonstrate their own strength, to demonstrate their own power and effectiveness at doing things like culling entire planets, and sort of as protection, to protect themselves from intimidation tactics.
Yes. Oh, that's beautifully put. They really are. They're like, can we do shock and awe but make it fashion? So, and you know, honestly, they succeed.
Yeah, no,
Their fashions are
that's
shocking.
the 90% of the reason to watch the movie.
That's absolutely true.
On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have our interstellar space hippies, who, as you can see in some of these characters, they have similar frameworks, similar costume ideas, even similar fabrics, but the framework is different.
The
approach is
execution.
different, and the execution is different. So as we state here, some characters are too noble and maybe too naive to follow traditional fashion trends and sink into patterns of inequality, but it costs them. So for our lovely folks from Resox, no.
Preservation.
Resox.
Ops. Yeah.
Preservation Ox, they also have sort of a beige look.
There's a lot of beige in Murder Box. They're just like, ooh, we love it. We love a gray beige. We love a yellow beige.
But they're all slightly different tinges of the same colors. And it's more a sense of their focus on natural fabrics, which is the cultural touchstone of their community, is their personal investment in natural fabrics. And so all their colors are a little bit muted. But it's not out of like a lack of love for high color, but more that's the limitation of these natural fabrics.
But also they have a lot of pattern. And when they can add accessories to their garments, they add very brightly colored accessories. They're always painting patterns onto things. They're always covering the beige wherever they can with a little bit of flair. And then creating their own musical instruments too. Murderbot loves that, by the way. He's just very keen on it. Dancing. He thinks it's so delightful. Yeah.
We also have the Doctor, who this is probably his worst costume.
It's true.
And
Notoriously.
the Doctor from Doctor Who is a unique being in the world, and therefore his fashion is unique to him. And they've tried to reflect that in the media through some of the choices they've made. Some better than others. However, this is one of the more, what I would call the more egregious examples of when they're like, well, he's an alien. Why would he know what cool clothes look like?
Right, and I love there's like all of these anecdotes about this era of costuming for Doctor Who and how the showrunner was like, I really want this to be so bad, so ugly.
Well, it's worse than that. So here's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I was going there, but you share it.
Yes.
Share it.
So the framework for this particular costume is that the costume designer made several different outfits, and the showrunner continued to tell them that they weren't happy with it because it wasn't enough. And so she made the ugliest costume that she could imagine, assuming he'd say no, and he loved it. And
Yes.
so it's not that he wanted it ugly, he just wanted, he had they wanted his taste to be reflected, and his taste was this.
It was very bad, is what we're saying. Bless his little heart. But it is now iconic. And also, that aside, talking about how this is like not a particularly charming costume, the story behind it is charming. And also the sort of premise, every doctor looks different, and they're all idiosyncratic. And none of them are like, ooh, I have to go with the trends. They all choose to do their own thing.
And of course, we've got the
ultimate
space of Qui-Gon Jinn, which of course what's fascinating about the Jedi as a iconic, so like all the Sith get all the faction trends.
That's true.
The Sith are all about individuality, where the Jedi are all about loss of agency and loss of individuality and a loss of self.
And desire. Whereas the stormtroopers of the Empire are very much like, ooh, let's put a uniform. The Sith are different than the Empire. The Empire is like, we are jackbooted and in lockstep, and there's a uniform for everything. And we erase your identity. It's not so much that you lose desire, but you're part of the machine. The Jedi are like, we like drapery and robes. We don't like personal connections. You don't get fashion, you're supposed to be above that.
Which I think is actually one of the more fascinating things about the frameworks, because there is something about the fact that both of these cultures have such sort of strict costume guidelines.
Yes.
Really reflects the sort of like the premise of the loss of the rise of the empire in the first place,
Yes.
right? It's the structure that allowed for inequality and allowed for loss of identity and loss of connection also allowed for the rise of these other forms of totalitarianism.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying it's important for you as a person specifically to be fashionistas, if only to resist fascists.
That's correct. It's one of our tools to stop the rise of fascism.
Yes.
More sparkle.
Yes. So we are now moving to our interactive portion, where we'll be talking about one of our favorite concepts. It's the Ripley to Barbarella spectrum of costume utility. So, in some instances, a costume is designed to be hot and cool and fun, and sometimes it's designed to be designed for space.
Barbarella is very ready to fly through space.
Yes.
She's very slick. All of that molded plastic
Yes.
makes her aerodynamic.
Yes. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking your characters and we're going to be putting it on our chart about where we think they lie on the Ripley to Barbarella spectrum of costume utility.
Are you going to also have the hotness axis?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
Of course.
good.
There's all important hot or not axis, which will determine how we feel about their hotness levels. This is a very awkward little device, isn't it? Okay, let's do this. Oh, okay.
But
Can
do
you
keep
see this?
Going because
Yes.
you're
Come back.
completely blocking me.
Yeah.
I have disappeared.
This way
Can
about a
you go
foot.
here?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, come over
And-
here.
Yeah.
Block the,
Right there.
yeah, there you go.
Do you want to hand me that?
No, I have to just do this.
I meant you could hand me a piece of paper.
Well, it's just gonna go back on there, so it's just gonna.
All right, good.
I think this will block you too, won't it?
No, well, a little bit, but much less than when it was directly in front of me. Because now I can see
You wanna
you
move?
and you and
To the
you.
middle?
I can move. I'll
She's
move.
not
good.
blocked.
We're good.
She's
Okay.
good.
But I can't see my friend there in
So just move
the
to the
seafoam green. All right. If you would, or if someone would be so kind to collect your post-it notes and bring them up here to me.
Madam, you can write a few of your own post-it notes as you feel free.
Oh, all right. I shall. I shall.
So Dawn is here to help.
Thank you so much.
Or accessories rather than costumes.
That's fine. We'll work with what we get.
What do you got?
I just got here.
Well, you can submit one if you'd like. You just, we'll be doing it for a bit. So you think of some characters in any form of speculative media that you think are either fashionable or not fashionable.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Whatever you feel is appropriate.
All right.
I'm sorry. So,
I mean, I'm sure there's
What?
books too.
I did books, not films.
That's fine. It
Books
can
are
be
fine.
any form of
We
media.
like books.
It can be speculative content of any kind. Really, we've done a lot weirder stuff, I promise. We've done, when we did this in WorldCon, we did some absolutely weird characters.
It's true.
Okay, we're gonna start with the ones in my hands, over here. We're gonna start with these accessories, and we're gonna talk about how utilitarian they are.
Wonderful.
I think they both are very good. So we're starting with Mary Poppins' umbrella.
Oh, and also, if you are submitting, please put each character on a separate piece, because
Yeah.
we're gonna do one character at a time.
Okay, so I feel like, I don't think it's hot exactly. Like, I don't know how hot this umbrella is. She's sort of designed to do other things, but I think it is fairly utilitarian. It does let you fly. So I think it goes on this far right over here. What do you think, Adam?
Yes, it's very utilitarian.
Yes.
Okay, so,
It allows you to fly and it protects you from the elements.
okay, so do we agree, Mary Poppins umbrella, not exactly the hottest accessory the world's ever seen, but very utilitarian?
Yes. Very. Very.
Okay. We have the leprechaun's pockets. So I'm assuming that they're because they have like infinite space inside them. Is that what our thoughts are? Oh, that's yours.
I can pull anything out of the
Okay.
pocket. Then
I feel like those are fairly utilitarian. I think pockets are utilitarian. I will tell you, however, pockets of that size would be not necessarily the hottest. They're hidden. We've got to have hidden pockets. But I think that they occupy kind of the same space. What do we think?
Yeah.
Does that sound similar in nature? Okay, we'll make them hang out together. Like so. They're like, I think it's a little, let's say it's a little more utilitarian than Mary Poppins. So I think that can go right there. Go right here. There we go. Oh, that is not gonna work.
Do you need a stand?
No, I just need this to not fall apart while I'm using it, is really what it boils down to. Okay, I'm gonna hand me some.
Yes, let's start with our Queen Amidala.
Well, Queen Amidala is very, very hot. I think that that's true. We agree Queen Amidala is hot.
Yes.
Correct?
Hotness.
I do think she's closer to Barbarella though. Those
Yeah.
costumes are not what I'd call like easy to move around in.
No. She wears them at Senate.
Yeah, she wears them at Senate. So I think she's pretty hot, and I wouldn't say she's fully not like fully Barbarella.
She's not full Barbarella.
I think she's like right here, like 3/4 way down.
Sure.
What do we think? We all
Little hotter though.
a little hotter. Okay,
Little
Like
hot.
this?
She's
Yeah.
pretty hot.
She's pretty hot.
she's peak hot. Okay, so we've got there. So she's closer to non-utility, but very hot. Okay.
Also, those fashionable frocks are very important to representing yourself well as a senator. So it's not quite Barbarella. How about Tank Girl?
From the titular comic and movie, Tank Girl. I think Tank Girl is hot, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely hot.
I think she's on the line, though. That she's like utilitarian, but like it's for the male gaze consumption.
Depends on the iteration. The comics are much less so. Also, I'd say that she's very whimsical. That cuts down on some of the utility more
Her
than.
whimsy is her real
Yeah,
utility
But
thing.
she's more utilitarian than not. I'd say she's over the line into utility.
Okay, but is she hotter than Queen Amidala? What do
Oh.
we think? Is she hotter?
No.
Hotter than
No.
Queen
No.
Amidala.
She's not hotter than Queen Amidala. She's the same level of hotness or less.
A little bit less.
Okay, so
There we go.
I think right here.
Yep.
Okay, Tank Girl, great.
All right, so we're gonna throw in a Ruby Rod from the Fifth Element.
Okay, very hot. How hot do we think Ruby Rod is?
Oh, up there.
What about you?
Maybe not Amidala hot, but like,
Fifth Element, it's the guy with the microphone.
and the hair,
Okay.
Oh,
and
Fifth
the
Element?
leopard print bodysuit.
Yeah, I think he's.
Pretty hot?
Yeah.
Do you think he's hotter than Queen Amidala?
I don't know if it's,
As far as his followers go.
Okay.
Within
Yeah.
society.
I think
True.
you're right. I think he is
True.
more hot
Yeah.
in a consumptive sense.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, he is the most popular radio DJ.
in the
In
galaxy.
the galaxy.
Yeah, that's
So,
good points.
I think his outfits are less utilitarian than hers.
Oh no, less utilitarian than
I think
Amidala.
it's right here.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
I agree entirely.
Okay. Okay.
All right. How about a Xena the Warrior Princess?
Okay.
Oh.
Is Xena? Is Xena hot?
Yes.
What do you think? Is Xena hot?
Yes.
Xena's hot?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Very
hot.
utilitarian.
Doing engagement.
I'm also engaging. I'm
Okay.
engaging.
Okay.
Oh,
We're
that skirt
engaging
though.
together.
That skirt is well done.
Yes.
It's a lot of thighs.
Okay.
There's a lot of thought.
Is Xena utilitarian? Is her outfit good for battle? No, we don't think so.
I mean, it's more utilitarian than, let's say, Amidala.
I guess I think that if she
I mean,
does,
she gets it done.
It
She
leaves
does
room
get-
for movement.
And it's leather, so
is
it's
she
very
hotter than
easy.
Ruby
Yeah.
Rod?
Well, I mean,
Oh, that's a close race.
Yeah.
I feel yes.
I think that she is hotter in that she has set she is more what's it called, social capital in the real world
Oh,
than Ruby Rod does.
yeah.
Yes.
So I think that she's hotter, and I think that she's less. I think she's very close to Amidala in terms of utilitarianism, but like differently.
Mm.
So she's a little bit more utilitarian than Amidala, but not by much. But she's a little bit hotter than both of them.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, that cake.
Is Doctor
That-
Strange hot? What do you think Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, is a hottie with a body?
A little bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit, okay. I think he's probably not hotter than any of the people we have here, though.
Yeah,
right?
no.
No.
He's kind of, he's also kind of a sour, so like.
I
But
mean, he's a middle.
definitely on the hot side, not.
on the
yeah,
hot
yeah.
side.
On the
not
hot
not
side.
Yeah,
Uh,
he breached the hot horizon.
I also think most of his clothes are fairly utilitarian.
Yes.
We've got like his robes fly him around.
Right?
Mhm.
They're so
And he
very
mostly
useful.
wears modern clothes.
Mhm.
So I think he's sort of like, I think he's,
Not
I
the
think he
Jedi
beats
who
Tank
likes
Girl.
a robe, though.
is he hotter than Tank Girl is the question.
Oh,
Because Tank Girl is less hot than Queen Amidala, Ruby Rod, or Xena.
He might be a little less hot than Tank Girl, but more utilitarian.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
So Doctor Strange, we all agree this is a good place for Doctor Strange.
and we know those men in capes.
I mean,
do.
do you have any that you've written that you want to know? Just keep thinking. No,
I'm thinking.
no stress.
Some of the shows I haven't seen.
Well, you can talk about what you've seen, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Focus on what you have
This
consumed.
is your.
It's about you. It's not about us.
contribution.
Oh,
We're going to talk about other people submitted for their amusement.
The only one I really know is Barbara.
Well, you just tell us about the sci-fi media you consume and what fashion you like. Don't worry about what other people are doing. We're
We-
going to keep discussing.
I'm just listening.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I just want to make sure you're not too. I don't want. We want to make sure you're feeling
If I
good.
had something to say, I would.
Okay, good. I don't want you to feel left out.
Yeah, I do. One Darth Vader.
I don't think Darth Vader is hot.
No,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
No.
no,
He's
there's no
wheezy,
hotness.
He's got like a.
And you
CPAP
take off the
machine
helmet and
attached to his
he's
face.
just like, oh, not hot.
I think he's not hot. I think also his fashion's not hot. It's a little too dictatory for me.
Yeah, yeah. And his
And
anger
also-
issues really take it down a notch.
We have a firm rule in the Askew Arbiter households. Fascists are not hot.
So I think he's definitely not hot. I think he's a little bit on the
Barbarella side.
on the non-utilitarian side, though.
Yeah.
And the reason for this is that Darth Vader's outfit is his life support system, but then he decided to put a cape on it, which is like very fashion, but like he's constantly fighting with
The cape.
the cape on, and I just feel like that seems, as a person
It's an
who
extra opponent.
navigates disabilities on a regular, I recognize that capes are a risk, and I am not doing battle against Jedi on a regular.
But it does give you a lot of flamboyance when you are doing battle.
That's true. Okay, we're doing, you wanna?
Oh, Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
Well, Starbuck is certainly hot, but how hot is our weirdest character in the series?
It depends. Are we doing
I think we're assuming the new series.
the new series, Starbuck?
Who, Battlestar Galactica, who wrote this one?
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay. You mean the new one?
Yes, I mean the new one.
Okay. So, do we think Starbuck is utilitarian? I think that's true.
Very
Yes,
utilitarian.
very
Is she
utilitarian.
hotter than Tank Girl?
Oh, well, I mean,
I think she's probably hotter than Tank Girl on some key vectors, mostly that she's like an adult woman.
so's Tank Girl.
Well, she's like a young adult woman. It's like a fully adult woman.
She bathes more regularly.
That
than
that
Tank Girl.
Yes.
that
We
increases
do
the hotness.
appreciate hygiene in this household.
Hygiene is helpful.
Is she more utilitarian than Doctor Strange?
Yes.
Yes.
And she's hotter than Tank Girl, but just by a little bit.
She
Yeah.
is a little bit like a hot Ripley, to be honest.
She is like Ripley is hot, but I would say that she's much more fashionable Ripley.
Yes, yes, she knows how to use a tank top. All right, we've got Wade Watts from Ready Player One.
Okay, what do you think about this
So
character?
my personal feeling is that he's very utilitarian. He's like jeans and t-shirts and trainers.
But
sort
like,
of
are
person.
we doing the costume that the character, the man, is wearing, or the digital character?
Oh no, that gets into a whole different thing.
Right? Like, there's this question. Now, I would assume the digital character is always utilitarian because he's just pixels.
Yeah, but he's fashion forward usually.
Yeah.
They are trying to trick out their digital selves to be like their ultimate avatars. Yeah.
So do we think that that's hot? Is that hot? Living in a avatar state? I mean, like, I would say that like floppy jeans and t-shirt guy, not the hottest choice.
No, I mean
Not the
he's
hottest.
Just the character is not hot, he's overweight, I mean, what I found really interesting about that book from a fashion point of view
Mm-hmm.
is that when you're not in the Oasis, most people's clothes reflect the challenges of the world there. in
Yes.
I think that's
their
really
Yes.
realities.
Importantly, do we think that his costume is so? What do you think we should do? Should we do both, or should we average, or do we split?
Yeah, probably Wade, he's totally not hot.
Okay.
And incredibly utilitarian because
Okay.
he has no resources to be anything but.
Okay. So he's definitely not hot, but he's
Right.
more utilitarian. But he isn't the most utilitarian because he doesn't have access.
Exactly.
So we're gonna say he's like not very hot, but pretty utilitarian. Probably more utilitarian than Doctor Strange, but not more utilitarian than Starbuck, because Starbuck has resources.
Yep.
Because she's part of the military that can
There we
provide her with the most effective tools for the job that she's taking on.
I agree.
And
So
lots of
if
tank
I had
tops.
written one for Percival, who is
Percival, yeah.
Aces,
Do you want to write that
then
down?
he would have been, I mean, in that world, your fashion dictates who you want to be.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so then it would be hot and utilitarian because he wants to solve the quest so that he gets resources.
I think, here's what I'm gonna say.
Here's Percival.
I think Percival is probably not, I think he's hotter than Doctor Strange, but not hotter than Tank Girl. Probably?
Probably, yeah.
I think he's on the line, though. He's on this sort of line between
Right, trying to be
utilitarian.
utilitarian and trying to be like
'Cause he's doing multiple jobs.
hot.
His costume is serving a purpose, but it has a cost associated with it. And so, that is I think he lives on the line. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds perfect.
Okay.
We have a Catherine Janeway captain.
Oh.
Okay, Catherine Janeway. Is Catherine Janeway hot? Important question.
Yes.
In like a classic way.
Yeah.
In a classic way. She's a classy lady.
She
She's
is.
like, I think that she's like hotter than Doctor Strange, but not hotter than Tank Girl, is
Yeah.
my thought
Yeah.
process. Mostly in the framework of, she's not, like, she doesn't exist to be hot, she just happens to be.
Yeah, exactly.
and-
Because she's so like strong and confident.
Her bearing.
That's like half of her hotness is like her confidence.
Okay, so I think that it's more utilitarian.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
probably less utilitarian than Starbuck, but more utilitarian than Doctor Strange.
I think that's right, because, you know, Doctor Strange is still like, I'm gonna have to have a cape and a big medallion, and also very drapey tunics. And she's like, I'm wearing a uniform,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Okay.
It was 3D printed by my replicator. All right, Wanda Maximoff won Scarlet
Okay.
Witch.
I cannot, in good conscience, suggest that Wanda is anything but hot, but she is certainly not utilitarian if we were talking about the costume from the 80s. That costume is wild.
Yeah, it is.
She's got like a faceplate that's like floating on her head. It's a weird look. I
Yeah.
think it's not a weird look. It's a challenging look to hold while doing battle.
Yep.
And she's like a leotard wearer, right?
Yes.
Yes. She's
Is
definitely hot
she
though.
hotter? I'm gonna shift these guys down a little bit because I feel like we've set the hotness bar slightly too high.
Mm.
So we need to shift everyone down. So that we
Too
can-
hot.
It's really just that the hotness bar can like function as a bar and not like, we have to cross the Queen Amidala meridian and like, I feel like if Queen Amidala is this hot, we're gonna have like, the hotness scale breaks. at
Yes,
that
that's
point.
true.
So if Queen Amidala's are currently our middle of the road hotness person. Is Queen Amidala hotter than Wanda Maximoff?
They're very similarly hot.
I think that that's true. I think that,
Yeah.
well, here's the important question. Is crazy hot?
Oh, right. Well, that's a very complicated and thorny question.
Okay. Well, we need to answer it.
Oh my gosh. Am I answering this? All right. Well, look. It depends. Do you like the sort of imperial, royal, aristocracy kind of experience, or do you like someone who's manifesting her world through her brain?
I do think it's because it's her choice.
Yeah.
Like Amidala, I think, may not choose to be in the costumes she chooses. Wanda gets to pick all her costumes, so I think she's slightly hotter than Queen Amidala, but slightly less hot than Ruby Rod. But she is she's a little bit more, Barbarella than
Yes.
Ruby Rod.
Yes, I think that's right. I think that's right.
Okay. There we go. We're gonna move that just a bit. There we go. There we go. Okay.
All right. So, oh my gosh, so many good ones. We just got one from our dear friends on the internet. Pockets to another dimension from Lady June Squirrel.
Okay, I feel like pockets to another dimension are very similar to our pockets for
The leprechaun pockets.
leprechauns. I just think that leprechaun pockets are more strict.
Mm.
So I think that we can, because leprechauns only wear a few outfit styles, and they're little, and also leprechauns have like a cultural outfit, which we respect and understand. I would not call leprechauns hot necessarily. So I think this is one of those ones that's on the line, it's crossing into the hotness zone.
I agree.
Because
It's utilitarian and just a little bit cheeky and insouciant.
there we go.
All right, of course we've got to talk about Princess Leia, General
So
Organa.
specifically General Organa, what do we think?
Oh.
Are we thinking, I'm thinking, is she hotter than her mom is a really important question.
Oh, well, I mean,
No.
Amidala.
I don't
No.
think that's true.
No.
I think her mom is hotter than her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Part of
her
that
mom is
because
hotter.
Her mom is famously hot,
Yeah.
right? Like that's like,
Mom's
are
famously
you an
hot.
angel? Right,
Yeah.
there's a whole vibe there.
Yep.
So she's hotter than her mom. She's not hotter than her mom. I think she's hotter than Doctor Strange though.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
positive.
And hotter than Captain Janeway.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's hotter than Starbuck. Just gonna move some of these around because I've adjusted the range. So I don't think she's hotter than Starbuck. I think she's more utilitarian than Doctor Strange, but less utilitarian than Janeway and Starbuck. So I think she goes right here. Does that look good to everybody? Who is this? This is General Organa. Oh, okay.
We have about 6 minutes
Let's
left,
get through
everyone.
these quickly.
So
We're gonna do a
we've
speed
got
round.
Rincewinds from The Discworld by Terry Pratchett.
That's the wizard, right?
That's the ineffectual wizard.
Okay, no, he is like, he's here. He's not particularly hot,
No.
but he's not ugly. But
No.
he's not, he's closer to Barbarella than he would like to be.
That's correct. He's not that functional, although he tries. Black Widow. Mostly he's dressed for wedding.
I think that Black Widow is, as hot as Wanda Maximoff, but on the utilitarian side of the spectrum.
Absolutely agree. I do feel like someday we have to play this game with our dear fashion icon, one Gail.
Someday we have to play this game with inanimate household objects.
We can do this game.
Or to determine the hotness of a kettle, for example.
Yeah.
I love this idea.
Okay,
All other standards the same.
we're gonna speed through this because, well, it's your panel next, isn't it?
Yes, but it's Gail's panel.
Yeah, it's your panel next.
That's my panel next.
We're gonna
Jump, jump,
finish
jump,
this up. Okay, Laura Croft, is she hotter than Black Widow?
Yes.
Okay. But she's also more utilitarian because she's getting ready to do archaeology, although.
But
a little
she's
bit.
wearing short shorts and no real leg covering, and her arms are bare, and she's
No,
just
the
like, I'm
original.
gonna go and just believe that my
Okay.
ankle boots will protect me.
Star-Lord is he's hot, but kind of in the middle. He's not particularly utilitarian. I'm gonna say he goes right here.
Okay.
Scorpia.
Scorpia is not utilitarian, but is hot. I think she goes right here. I just think that having claws is an awkward experience for anyone.
She's doing her best. Jane Cobb from Serenity.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Jane Cobb, I would say is
Oh,
Jane.
yeah, Jane.
He's utilitarian.
Very
Definitely utilitarian.
but I don't know if he's that hot, is
No.
my thought process.
Well, he's got that.
He's less hot than
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Lilu from Fifth Element.
Hot.
Probably closer, way over here, but I think she's she's one of the iconic hot characters from sci-fi, so I think she goes up here. So she's a Barbarella character,
Yep.
I would say. She's as close as we've gotten since the 90s.
All right, so I don't know this character. Lida Pandora.
I don't know this character either. Is this you?
Yeah, it's a book series by Ella Summers.
What's her vibe?
She's a rebel, but she's in a military type situation.
Is she hot?
Very,
Okay, is she hotter than General Organa?
probably not.
Okay, so probably like here.
How
With Jane.
utilitarian are her clothes?
She's utilitarian, she's in the military though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I put her down.
All right, the Foundation series, Demoiselle. And I have to
Is
admit,
that Lee Pace's character?
The robot.
The robot.
gorgeous
Oh.
robot.
Okay, is the robot
Oh.
utilitarian? I know the robot's hot. Is the robot utilitarian?
I would say on the slightly utilitarian. There's
Okay,
some
so
big
she's
hoop
gonna be-
skirts and
About as
But
hot
they're-
as Xena, but on the line for whether or not she's utilitarian.
all right, and all those still suits in Dune.
So the still suit in Dune, is the still suit hot?
It is very warm.
Is this fashion? Is this still suit fashion?
It's fitted.
It depends on your kink. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
Yes. Okay, but let's just say.
I mean, if you have some sort of leather fetish, then very hot.
Well,
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll put it
Low
right
end
on
hot.
this. It'll go right in the middle.
Oh, but
There's
all
gonna
the
be-
way utilitarian.
Wouldn't the still suit depend on who's wearing it?
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
So
true.
Because usually, I think it goes in the middle. 'Cause I think it's utilitarian if you're using it for utilitarian purposes, but if you're using it for kink purposes, then it's
Oh.
not utilitarian in any capacity.
Or
You're
is
not
it?
on the planet Dune.
It's very easy to clean off.
Okay, is that all of us?
That's it.
Okay, well, that is our show, everybody. I hope you liked our little game at the end. You can admire your work and take pictures if you like, and then you'll be hanging out with Madam Askew and our guest of
Author,
honor.
guest of honor, Gail Carragher. Grand Arbiter, do you want to put it at the back of the room? So
Yes.
people can get that? Great, thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. You were all wonderful. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
The Ripley Barbarella spectrum of costume utility.
It's our favorite thing.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. Yeah, if you bring it to me, I'll sort the next bits.
Are you on this panel with me?
I'm your moderator, companion. Ask her questions.
How exciting. That dress.
I'm the what?
You're the horde.
I'm the horde.
You're our treasure.
I'm the treasure. I'm the horde. I'm the
Okay.
dragon's
I love
horde.
the dress.
I'm
I
gonna
know.
go start my process.
I ordered it myself.
Oh,
We will have to be early to get this stuff for